Wayans too, and then like my Facebook fan page, Marlon Wayans, and that got 3.5 million people.
Wow. And you're playing tomorrow night at the Huke in Chicopee, Massachusetts, just in the western part of the state for those who are outside of the Boston metropolitan area. And then November 7th and 9th at Levity Live in West Nyack, New York with your brother Sean. Tell me what it was like growing up in the family, a big family like you did. A lot of them went into comedy and into acting. It's pretty amazing, really.
I mean, it's a blessing. The fact that all of us are working. I think Keenan did this by design. He was like, I can give a man fish, or I can teach him to fish. If I teach him to fish, they'll stay the hell out of my fish. So he taught us all the fish, and in turn, we teach the nephews to fish, because stay the hell out of my fish.
Did Keenan ever talk to you about the idea that how other African American families, you think of the Jackson Five, of course, tragedy in the end of Michael, but did that ever come to his mind or any of the other brothers? Because it's very unusual that a family, there are a few, there's the Bridges and so on and so forth, but it doesn't happen all the time, and particularly in the African American community.
Well, I think we had some good examples. I mean, African American and just regular, Caucasian families too. We looked at the Osmonds,
Sure.
We looked at everybody from Jackson. We looked at the Barges, and we was like, hey, if we had good hair and cocaine bottles, it was fun. Then we looked at the Silvers, and was like, man, we had Afro and some dope dance steps. We could be the Silvers. There was so many great families in the 70s especially that gave us that kind of blueprint. And as we all started doing it, we kind of said, yeah, we can do that with comedy.
We're talking with Marlon Wayans here on the Jeff Santos Show, performing tonight at the Wilbur Theater, 7:30 and 10. You should check it out, folks. I'm going to try to make the late show myself. It is, it is really cool. You got a DVD that came out a few weeks ago on your Haunted House 2. You get a lot of stuff, man. I mean, I don't know how you keep it up. No wonder you're always tired because you're moving here and moving there. What is it like today? Maybe 10 years ago, you get social media and so forth that maybe wasn't around, maybe 15 years ago. How different is it for you and your brothers in the spotlight?
I think it's a lot harder nowadays than it used to be. Fame was this kind of protective cage that you were in. When people could see it, but you had a curtain, you could close it. It was like being an animal in a cool zoo, but the animals was protected. And now, the animals in the wild with the people, and it's a free for all. You can't have a meal, you can't come to the airport. There's nothing you could do nowadays. You are famous 24 hours a day. And so at a point, you just go, you know what? If you can't beat them, join them. And try to find your peace when you're at home and in the privacy of your own home. That's the only way and even then sometimes you get people coming in. But, it's harder. But, I can't complain because you just go with the times. And as it shifts, you have to be water.
Talking with Marlon Wayans here on the Jeff Santos Show. Again, he has an event tonight, tomorrow in Chicopee, and coming up in West Nyack on November 7th through 9th with his brother Sean Wayans. Let me ask you, we do a lot of political stuff on this show, and, obviously there's the President of the United States who's African-American. We hear stories all the time of the issue of police brutality, what's happened in Ferguson. With a family as large as yours, are there discussions politically? Does one brother get more involved politically than others, or what's it like?
I think it's funny. I'm probably the most politically active of all my brothers. We kind of, we just try and be the best example that we could be. Politics is a tough thing because the reality of politics is you don't control anything. No one sect controls anything. The way we're set up, the structure is set so that nobody has real power. Even the president, he don't have real power. He got to say so. He has an opinion. He could veto some things. He go, I don't like that. I ain't gonna put my stamp on it. But he can't really make the unilateral decision to do anything. and it's best when it's collective. There's a check and balance system, and that's the way we were created. So it's kind of like your mom and your dad can't really make decisions without each other. And a lot of times they don't see eye to eye. And the reality is, yeah, dad makes the money, but mama got the power. Why? Because that's just the way God created it. And so it's a frustrating thing for you to go in there and think that, you can have power. You don't have power, but you do have influence. And so the best that you can do is influence people to influence people to make a decision. I won't go, hey, you got to go vote for Obama. But I will say, hey, you should go to the polls and give your opinion and make sure that your voice is heard, because that's important.
Well, that's a great lesson. We're talking about getting out the vote, and it's really important. I'm a progressive and a Democrat and an Obama supporter, but you get people out who are fans of yours. I mean, you get 1.7 million people who follow you on Twitter and whatever it is on Instagram, 700,000. I mean, you get those folks out to the polls. And if they understand what's, I think, important for them, they're more than likely going to vote for the Democrats, because, in my opinion, the Republican Party doesn't have much to offer these days.
Of course, and that's, I think, how Obama won. Part of the reason why Obama won both his elections was the youth came out, and we as the middle generation, we kind of told the youth to go out and vote. And that it's important that their voice is heard, because the future of this country lies in your hands. And every single person has to feel like one person can't do it. But a million people, now you can start to make some noise. I personally, I just, politically, I'm confused, because I'm a Democrat at heart, because I was raised in the projects of New York City, and I'll always be a Democrat at heart. But I got Republican pockets. So I'm just confused as to what's that.
Well, don't lose those Democratic roots, my friend. Marlon Wayans, thank you for joining us today, man. Tonight, 2 shows, Wilbur Theater, 7:30 and 10, downtown Boston. Tomorrow at the Hu Ki Lao in Chicopee, and Levity Live in West Nyack, New York, 7 to 9. Check it out. It's fantastic. Hey, all the best, Marlon. Appreciate you coming on, my friend.
Okay. Well, thank you, bro.
Thank you. Right back with Michael Charles after this timeout.
Welcome back to school. We're ready to teach and ready to learn.
The National Education Association wants you to raise your hand for student success.
I'm NEA President Lily Eskelson Garcia. A new school year means exciting new challenges for students and educators, because it's more than a job, and they're more than just our students. Together, we'll make it the best school year yet.
Visit NEA.org/parents for tips.
With over 900,000